All right, all right. Hope everyone's doing good. So, I want to record this little short video sharing how to get ahead of all the other Amazon sellers, right? So, myself and my business partner, we have a really good saying, and it's to do with Amazon, right? And it's this: the competition is weak. Honestly, it's very, very weak. Don't get me wrong, there's lots of sellers there that are doing a really good job and they're crushing it. But for every one of them, there's nine that are just coasting along, and it's just opportunities there for the taking, right? Now, how do I mean this? What do I mean by this, right? Let me cover a few things and areas where I look for opportunity and how you can actually move ahead as an Amazon seller, whether you're an established one or whether you're a brand new one, okay? The first thing I would do, I would look at, and it's very obvious, right? I would look at the images and the copy on a listing, right? If an image looks really poor, and I mean a hero image, this is the main image you see in a search result. If that looks really poor, and if someone has not invested in a good image at that point in the listing, right? They obviously don't care. Like literally, like they're just coasting. And if they have a good BSR and they have a terrible listing, to me that screams of opportunity for me, right? So if you see a poor image, think, okay, I can do that better. And an image is so important because the title and the image and the price and the reviews, but mainly the image, that's what captures our eyes, right? That is what draws us in to a listing. So if we can invest in that, and it's a one-time investment, because once this is done, it's done. So all our products, when we're bringing in products, and we're doing this quite regularly, they go to our creative team. And what they do is they, excuse me, they create really good images, hero, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever it is, secondary images. They do that. And then A+ content too sometimes, right? And by doing that, people, first of all, they click on the listing to actually get there, right? No one's ever going to buy your product if they never get onto the listing. So they click on the listing, and then when they're there, they have a really positive experience, because most people don't go below the fold. And what I mean by below the fold is, if you click onto an Amazon listing, a lot of people don't scroll down. This is what they look at, right? They look at the front, the images, the bullets, the title, the price, add to cart, or buy now. That's it for like 90% of people, right? So you see poor images and you're willing to invest in that. That's a plus. That will get you ahead. If you are your product selling really well, invest in the images, perhaps even split test. So Amazon actually have now included this as a feature, but you could do this manually previously. And it's A to B split testing. So you create, like, basically it's like a mirror listing and you make small changes. I wouldn't make big changes because then you're not sure what's actually making the difference, but make small changes, maybe in the images or whatever. And then if you see a click-through rate increase, you're like, okay, let's go with that. Because remember, every time you increase the click-through rate, the people visiting the page, you're going to get more conversion, because the more people that get onto it, the more people will convert, right? Another area for opportunity, and again, it's connected with the listing, right? It is the copy. Okay, so we had some listings that the copy was nice, but it wasn't SEO optimized. It wasn't optimized for the terms customers were using to search for the product, right? And the product was still doing well. And we decided to improve that. And shout out to Fayed on the team. He took it on. And basically in this matter of 2 weeks, like the amount of organic traffic we were getting to that listing just like doubled, tripled, whatever it is, right? And we started getting a lot more sales that weren't costing us any PPC, right? So we were subsidizing this listing with PPC, whereas now when we started doing that or getting that organically, our costs dropped and the product was more profitable. That's because we had really good copy at that point. And we used tools like Helium 10 and so forth to actually figure out, well, what terms should we include, right? And if you're like, oh, I can't write good or anything like that, like I'm going to record a video, but it's going to be on ChatGPT, but you can use the likes of ChatGPT and import the terms in, and it'll incorporate these, spin the pen, it'll incorporate these terms into the listing. So like, I remember when I first started, I did do all this manually. Whereas now, like, you can have a listing optimized in 20 minutes. less really, but let's just say 20 minutes. Okay. So really optimize your listings. Make sure they're all optimized. Another thing that I really think is going to help you is pricing strategy. So have a look at your pricing. Like, are you sure you're at the max of what people are willing to pay? You're probably not. So what I would recommend is actually testing that by slowly increasing your price, right? Just move it up. So I had a product selling really well. I first started selling a few years ago. It was actually at £16. Last summer I was selling at £19.95. And I've actually moved it to £22.95 now. It actually hasn't affected the conversion negatively at all. In fact, the product is now selling more. I'm getting more sales by increasing the price. So more sales and more profit, because ultimately the margin's bigger. So I just increased the price. On a note on that, make sure your prices are nice. So like, don't have a random 22.63 or whatever, like 22.95 or 22.99 or 97. Keep it nice and round. People psychologically prefer that. I don't know. I read in a book here behind me, but people prefer nice numbers, not random numbers, right? But again, that's good. If your product is FBM, make it FBA. You can charge more. People are willing to pay more. It's like an FBA premium. They will pay more than the extra fulfillment cost you're paying. So you'll make more money with less work. So make sure everything is FBA, 100%, right? The final thing that I would do is make sure you get as many reviews as possible. Positive reviews, right? We don't want negative reviews. The way to get positive reviews, and I showed this on another video as well, but I'm going to show you again, right? It's on my phone. I include this card with every Amazon listing, every Amazon product that I launch, right? Now, as you know, you're not allowed on Amazon to ask a customer for a positive review or a favorable review. You cannot do that. That's influencing the customer. It could get your listing shut down, or worse still, get your account shut down. And we're not in the business of disobeying Amazon's terms of service. Let's stick with them because, you know, we don't want to cross them really, like, okay. I include this card with every single product I launch. Or if it's an old product, I've got the supplier to start inserting it into the product, right? And all it's doing is thanking them and asking them for an honest review. Not positive, obviously not negative, an honest review. That is okay. You're allowed to do that with Amazon's terms of service. And if that encourages even 3%, 2% extra, maybe 5%, mad, that'd be crazy, extra number of customers to actually leave a review, and over time that's going to compound, and we're going to get a lot more positive reviews on top. And then we also entrench our product. So we get better conversion and we entrench our product. So which means that if a new seller came in and wanted to start selling this product, they would find it hard to compete because we've got the positive reviews. We've got the testimonies from independent customers. If you don't have many reviews or you want more, don't be afraid to enroll in the Vine program as well. We do that with every product launch we do, just to get some feedback. And we want to make sure it's positive feedback. We do that as well. So yeah, if you do those things, right? So I forget everything I ran through, but basically, good images, good copy that's SEO optimized, good pricing, the product is FBA, and you're getting your reviews, right? If you do all that, you will get ahead. And actually, there's actually one more thing as well. If you find a product and it's selling well and you're really happy and you're making good progress, don't be afraid to look for other products in that niche. So I call them, like, you know, there's a parent product, but then that parent, I did a presentation on this a few years back at an Amazon seminar. That parent can have children, and those children, those other products, like, that's another, you know, 20 grand a year, maybe, you know what I mean? Each of them, that builds your business out, right? So don't be afraid to do that. And then ultimately, you know, maybe those products can be taken, the same thing you're doing, and put to different countries, different markets. You do all that, you will get ahead of the competition. But because again, remember, the competition is weak. They're basically saying to you, look, I'm making sales, but I'm not doing any of these things. So if you come in and do those things, you're going to get sales. No question. So yeah, if you're interested in learning more about this, go to my bio. There's ways we can work together. And any video topics you'd like me to cover, down below in the comments. And please make sure to hit that subscribe button. And thank you.